Context clips.
One deep question I was pondering just before we started was what do you reckon is the biggest contributing factor to the overrepresentation of men in the suicide stats? I think it's like 2 out of every 3 suicides is male.
Yeah, I think, 2 out of 3, or it's like 7 out of 9 daily suicides, which is crazy, right? And it's interesting because I'm learning about this as well. The Man Up Boys, we're doing like a mental health first aid course right now. And what we found is, I don't have the picture on me right now, but it was like a data from like 1920s to like now. And it showed suicide rates. And I think per 100 or whatever, it was, I can't give you the exact numbers, but essentially the men's were like over double, like every single, like the whole.
Leo, do you reckon you could try and find that for us?
Yeah, I've got a photo of it. I can maybe put it up. But it was crazy anyway.
Yeah, send me the photo.
Yeah, like right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I'll
send it to Leo.
Yeah.
So from the 1920s, was it?
It was like from 1920s to like now.
Wow.
And it was crazy sad. Hold on, I've got it here. It's like a photo from a screenshot. So it's like, I've got it now on Instagram. I think it's sending.
Can you get producer Leo to pull that up for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send it to you now, Leo.
Yeah, and if you put it up, we can even discuss it a little bit as well.
Yeah, just send it to you now, Leo. Yeah, because I think suicide's such a big topic, but it's also something that many people are unwilling to discuss. And having I've had a fair number of friends and family friends who have taken their own lives, and the large majority of them have been men. And I know a lot of people who have been impacted by suicide, but it also feels, even though we do live in such a progressive world now, and with mental health is becoming such a big discussion, it still feels like almost like a bit of a taboo
100%.
to discuss it. What do you think? What are your thoughts behind that?
I think that taboo is stemmed from like history of like people associating mental illness with like being crazy or being weak, right? And so I think when it comes to men especially, like, I've definitely been at the point where I haven't, attempted or anything like that, but, I've had those thoughts. And I've had a close friend of mine admit to me that he was a few seconds away from taking his own life.
Wow, that's heavy.
And it was heavy because I was like, oh shit, like it just goes to show like he seems so normal on the outside, but then, it wasn't on the inside. And I think that pressure of, like, I'm not sure if you feel that, I'm sure you do, but as a man, especially in Australia, it's like, be strong. Like
it's it's a very traditional masculine type thing. But I do believe that we are definitely on a path to definitely changing that. I feel like the whole get married, work, and have like a wife who stays at home and just cooks everything is definitely in the past.
But yeah, as you can see there on the photo, so men have been significantly higher. So it's like per 100,000. So men have been.
Oh, so is that women?
Yeah, women's the red line.
Okay.
Men is the blue line. And the only drop for men was during the World War, which is pretty sad because obviously they were dying in other ways. And it's been like significant, and they've all these peaks and troughs have sort of been associated with like economic times or like difficulties in the Great Depression, things like that. Even like other wars as well. But I was saying how I think for men it's almost like this idea of even like the follow through. So what we learned on this course was that although men and women tend to have similar attempt rates, men tend to be, I guess, more successful at suicide because what they do is they use more lethal means, essentially.
More extreme methods.
And I think even a part of that ties into like, oh, I'm a man, I should better kill myself properly. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
100%. Which
like
is,
if it, like you're more, just from my own experience and like risk-taking behavior.
Yeah, risk-taking.
Yeah, I could definitely picture men just doing some extreme shit to try to take their own lives.
Exactly. And it is sad, but it is being talked about more. And what I learned on this course as well, and that we're learning nowadays, is like, don't be afraid to actually ask someone who you potentially think may be in that space if they're actually thinking of suicide, because it won't actually do any harm in asking them that. You can never put the idea in someone's head to kill themselves if they already like got the idea. So, if you're thinking someone's like feeling really bad or they're just not showing up,
just ask.
Just literally just ask, like, have you been thinking of killing yourself or have you been having thoughts of suicide? And if they say no, then okay, like relief a little bit. But if they say yes, then it's better than you not knowing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And if they say yes, you can find the appropriate means of getting them some help.
I mean, I always do think about just think about how much you hold in and you don't show to the world.
Yep.
Like it, I would say that it'd be the large majority of your own thoughts and the way in which you feel. Most people do repress and keep in.
Yep.
And it's hard to just think about the fact that people only see what you show them.
Exactly.
So if you really are struggling inside and you are only showing that, you're putting on a really brave face and all that sort of thing, it's generally speaking, it's always really just a matter of time before all that repressed emotion and energy will make you crumble.
Sure. For sure. You can't hold up the front forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.